Hello and welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. Hey guys, I'm your host, Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy. You know, you created this life in dentistry with an intention. And when you started on this dentistry journey, you started with an intention of experiencing the lifestyle, the leadership, the healing of others, the service of others, the impact. But somewhere along the way, life started feeling like a race you didn't sign up for. What if you've been running toward a finish line that doesn't exist? Today we're talking about a very important perspective shift that if you lean into this will change the way you experience dentistry, your practice, your family, your life. And what I'm bringing for you here is a moment of recognition of the fulfillment that's actually available to you right now. I had this beautiful experience last week when I was on the retreat, holding a retreat for these incredible women dentists. I do this twice a year. I create this beautiful space for women dentists to come away out of their lives, out of their busyness of work, and in this gorgeous location. This time we were in the Appalachian Mountains. It was spectacular, stunning view from this beautiful home that we were staying in. And I cultivate this incredible experience over a 3-day retreat of real healing, recognition, and then also this specific retreat was all about establishing self-trust, which is something that's so important for women leaders in dentistry. Learning how to trust yourself in your decision-making, in what you want out of life, in how to speak up for yourself, in how to ask for what you need. It is such a critical leadership skill and an abundance, success, happiness skill. So that's what we were working on. And one of the components that I always include in my retreats every single time is a sound healing. If you've never experienced sound healing or a sound bath, it is phenomenal and it is so important in dentistry. We don't even realize how healing it can be because what we experience in the dental world is this constant, like high-pitched, screechy sound from the handpiece, from the autoclave. It's all around us, and those vibrations are actually impacting our nervous systems to heighten that stress response. So all the components of dentistry are kind of against you, and we use sound as a way to realign and heal that part of you. And we also use sound as a beautiful invitation to step into deep relaxation. And it's something that in person, experiencing a sound bath. That's why they call it a bath. You're immersed in the vibration of the sound. It's really a little trippy. It really does. Many people experience incredible visions or like travel to other places, oh, excuse me, I got something in my mouth. Many people experience real, new awareness or new insight or have messages or, greater clarity from their inner wisdom. And it's also very healing to your body and your nervous system. And every time I've done a sound bath or a sound healing, I've had new awakening and new awareness in my life. And I'm always very excited for my clients to experience the same thing. Well, we're lying in this sound bath. So you lie down, your eyes are closed, and that's all you do. And then the sound healer really does all the work with those beautiful crystal bowls, those Tibetan bowls. She's got a rain stick. It's such a phenomenally calming, wonderful experience. And about halfway through, I wasn't having that existential moment, that really magical moment. I was feeling very relaxed. It was lovely. I was enjoying it. But I wasn't having that moment of aha, or that clarity moment, or that, visitation from my higher self. I wasn't having that magical experience that I really usually have when I'm in one of these sound baths. And I kept reaching for it, and I kept judging myself in the middle of this experience, and I kept trying to get to somewhere. And all of a sudden, I had a very deep awareness of what was happening. My body was feeling so calm. It was enjoying this moment so deliciously. I mean, when you're so relaxed, your arms feel like lead weights. When we were coming out of the sound bath, I could barely lift them off the ground. You know, when you just feel so comfortable. I don't know if you've ever been in a meditation like this, where you don't want to get out. You don't want to leave. Or if you've been to a yoga class at the end when you're lying there in corpse pose, and she then says, okay, now turn into your fetal position. You think, I don't even want to move. I'm so relaxed right now. That's what my body was experiencing. And it was beautiful sounds. And I was seeing colors behind my eyes. And it was such a beautiful experience. But I was judging it and expecting myself to get somewhere else. And I realized my mind was doing the judgment, but my body was really enjoying it. And in that moment, I had the clarity again that has reached me so many times, which is there is nowhere to get to. There is no finish line. And when I can just appreciate this moment for what it is, I fall in love with the moment again. And this is such a beautiful metaphor for how to find deeper fulfillment in dentistry. We all grew up in this society, in this paradigm of dentistry, with goals. That's how you got to where you are. You had a goal of getting to the next thing, of graduating from high school, then graduating from college, then graduating from dental school, then graduating from residency, then getting into practice, then maybe the next goal was purchasing a practice. You kept having these goals. It's been entrenched in you. It's how you got to where you are. So of course it makes so much sense that we're constantly chasing the next thing, the next goal, the next finish line. Of course it makes so much sense. And in the meantime, every single day, you are already serving, healing, giving people back their smiles, giving people back their ability to eat, giving people back their ability to breathe. You're doing it every day and you're missing it. I am saying this because that's what I was doing myself in dentistry. I kept chasing the next thing, growing my practice to the next level, opening another practice, bringing on a new associate. I kept having these goals further, more, that I was missing, that in the moment I was experiencing everything I already had if I would allow myself to. And just for a moment, give yourself enormous grace, because that is what the paradigm of what we've been raised in this country and in this society and in this industry and dentistry, that is what has been perpetuated for us. There's always something to get to in our minds, but you have so much agency of being present where you are right now. You are in a place of choice of how you experience your life today. You get to choose how much presence you have with that patient in front of you now. You get to choose how much time you take at lunch to rest, to reset, to give your body what it needs: nourishment, rest, sunshine, fresh air, regulating your nervous system so you're not just stressed out all day and feeling depleted by 3 o'clock and needing chocolate or coffee to boost you again. Or getting home at night and taking it out on your family because you're too depleted. You get to choose how you spend your lunch hour. And I know your brain is telling you, just like my mind was telling me in that sound healing, that there was some place to get to. But the answer is, there is no place to get to. There is no there. You already have everything you need. And that perspective is radical. That alone is the most radical shift that you can have for yourself. And it's everything. You get to choose how present you are. You get to choose to spend as much time with your patient as you like. And I know the voices that are coming in your head right now, but Tarryn, I'm an associate and I don't get to choose because they dictate my schedule. And Tarryn, I've told my office manager 47 times to give me an hour for that procedure, and she keeps squeezing it into 20 minutes. You still get to choose. You get to advocate for yourself. You get to make new choice about where you work. You get to make new choice about how you speak up for yourself. You get to make new choice about how you create that presence in the moment. But constantly chasing the next thing only creates more practice of chasing. That is the realization I had. I got so good at reaching for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, that it became a part of who I was. Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And if we're constantly kicking that goalpost down the road, we never stop kicking the goalpost down the road. That's it. You get to choose how present you are and how aware you are of what you have and who you are right now. And the message that sits behind that constant needing for more, that constant looking for the next goal, the next achievement, the next title, the next certification, the next number in your bank account, what that all is driven by is this deep feeling of not being enough. And there's this voice in our heads that says, when I finally get here, then I'll feel like I'm enough. When I get this much money in the bank account, then I'll feel like I'm enough. When I've paid off my student loans, then I'll feel like I'm enough. When I get a job as a partner or a business owner, or I open my own practice, then I'll feel like I'm enough. And that's the voice that is the lie. That's the trap. The trap is thinking that you are not enough right here, right now, at this number on the scale, at this number in your bank account, at this role and position in your practice, at this age in your life. You are exactly enough. You get to choose how present you can be with that. I'm going to take you back to that moment in the sound bath. What if just being on the floor in a gorgeous mountainous landscape with someone pouring gorgeous, beautiful sounds into my body and my body feeling the vibrations is enough? What if I stopped judging that it wasn't a good enough experience, that it wasn't trippy enough, that I wasn't seeing visions, I wasn't getting new insight from my higher self? But what if that was enough in that moment? And right there, boom, when I connected to that, I felt my whole body just relax and sink even deeper into the moment. And then it felt delicious. I started feeling like I was floating on a riverbed, and I started experiencing my body floating on a riverbed, and I was in so much gratitude. And right there is the secret. When you can allow that there is no there, that where you are is exactly enough, that who you are is exactly enough, that's when miracles start to happen in your life. That's when alignment starts to happen in your life. That's where suddenly you start to attract more patients, where suddenly your team starts to stand up and really take ownership and accountability for their roles. That's where suddenly things in your life start looking better. You start realizing, oh my gosh, I actually do have great friends. Wait a minute, I actually do have so much abundance. Look at this house I'm sitting in. What my 10-year-ago self would have done to be here right now. She wouldn't even have believed it. Can you just for a moment, let's just hold a moment for that awareness. The woman you were 10 years ago, would her mind be blown by where you are right now? Imagine that. You're already there. You're already there. Everything that you have been working towards is already here. And when you can be more present and grateful with that, things start flowing to you. And even more comes available to you. It's the lie that you're not enough, that you're not good enough yet, that you haven't gotten far enough yet, that you don't have enough patience yet, that you're not recognized by your community or your colleagues at a greater level yet. That's the perpetuating of the lie, that there's anywhere to get to. And in the meantime, what happens? We miss life. We miss out on life. The same awareness happened for me this weekend. This past weekend was Easter weekend. I invited my family over, and so we had a whole house full of guests. I woke up in the morning, and as you know, when you're hosting, there's somewhere to get to. I tell myself, I have to make the meal. I have to set the table. Once I get there, the people start showing up. Now we have to serve the meal. Get to the next thing. What's the next thing? Eat the meal. Get through the meal. The whole time I'm thinking, oh, the dessert. I've got to go heat the dessert up. Okay, let me go heat the dessert up. now I notice everyone's done eating. Oh, let's do this. Let's clear the table. Then we clear the table. Then we serve the dessert. Then we start cleaning. The whole day ended. And were you at all present? All along the way, there was choice. And we just fly right by it. We completely miss the memo because we're so busy getting to the next thing. The next thing is I got to get dessert on the table. The next thing is I got to clean this up. The next thing, and we forget to be right there in the moment. There's no there. There's no next thing to get to. And when you can just sit in that moment at that dinner table and say, oh my gosh, I've arrived. I don't have to be anywhere other than right here. That's when we start tapping into the fulfillment of the moment. It's when we're on the treadmill of getting to the next thing, the next thing, the next goal. We miss out on living our lives. And does that feel unfulfilling? Yes, it feels so hollow and empty. And that's when we look around and we say, dentistry has duped me. I can't believe it. I'm duped. I'm more stressed than I ever was. I got into this profession for the lifestyle and the freedom and the autonomy, and I just feel overwhelmed and stressed out. Yes, because we're constantly focusing on what's next. And I get it. We've been entrenched in this dogma for a long time. And if you are feeling that way, you are not alone. And please do not receive this beautiful podcast episode as judgment. It's an invitation. And I know what your mind is saying right now. It's saying, how, Tarryn, how? How do I be more present? When I've been practicing chasing and living for the next thing and trying to achieve the next thing, and yes, I now recognize and see that in myself. And I see that I'm never actually being present for the moment because I'm so in my head about what's next and where I'm not good enough and where I haven't achieved enough. And I keep telling myself that if I get there, I'll feel better, and that moment comes and it goes and I never even notice it. I'm on to the next thing. If you're having that awareness, I just want to honor you because most people spend their whole lives never waking up. And let this be an invitation to wake up. It is not you. You are not broken. It is a system that is broken. And you have all the power to wake up to it and to choose new. And if this is resonating with you, I'm going to invite you to join me on May 7th. May 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm holding a masterclass called Exhale, a masterclass for women dentists who are done pretending they're fine. Because in that perpetuation of stress, we hold up this beautiful mask. I'm fine. How are you doing? Fine. How's the practice? Oh, it's fine. How the kids? They're fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're done pretending we're fine. It's time for a shift. And in this beautiful masterclass, in this hour and a half that we're going to be together, I'm going to share with you what it is about dentistry that has you feeling this way. Stressed, overwhelmed, unfulfilled, unhappy, unsatisfied, duped, exhausted. What is it? So that when we have the awareness, we can make the shift. We can unlock that perspective that allows you to be present, that allows you to slow down and actually witness and recognize, oh my gosh, I am enough. And actually, there is so much more available to me than I am realizing. So this beautiful masterclass is for women dentists only. If you're listening to this and you're not a woman dentist, please do not register. This is specifically for women dentists. If you're an associate, if you're a business owner, if you're a partner, if you're working at a DSO, if you're working at an institution, an academia, if you're working at a nonprofit, all of that, you are welcome to this masterclass. This is for you so that I can shine a light on what it is that's having you believe the lie that you are not enough, you are not far along enough, and then we get to unlock and shift the perspective for you. And I'm going to give you those keys so that you can actually start living your life again and feeling good in it and appreciating and being so in the moment that those things in dentistry that you were hoping would bring you fulfillment actually do. I'm going to gift that to you. So I'll leave a link in the show notes. I'm inviting you to join. Sign up now because there will be a limit on the number of women that I'm welcoming into this beautiful masterclass. And if you are driving right now and you can't look at the show notes for the link, you just go to thisdentistneedstobreathe.com. Try and remember that when you get to where you're driving to. This dentist needs to breathe, BREATHE, breathe.com. Or you can go to thebizofhappiness.com and you'll find my under workshops and masterclasses, the drop down, you'll find it there. Thisdentistneedstobreathe.com and register for this. You will not regret it. You will also get 2 beautiful CE credits for this evening together, which you're welcome to. It's for free. And give yourself permission to start unlocking how to stop chasing and how to start living. Because when you feel good, that is when you can start doing incredible things in this world. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.